I'm a 29-year-old woman, and on paper I should have had everything together. I worked a solid corporate job that paid me far more than most people my age in my area. My friends often told me how lucky I was, how stable my life seemed, how I must be sitting on piles of savings. What none of them knew was that my paycheck barely stayed in my account long enough for me to look at it. Almost every dollar I earned went straight into holding my family together. It started years ago, slowly, and then it became normal. My parents would fall behind on rent, and I was the one to fix it. At first it felt good to help. They called me dependable, the one they could rely on. My mom loved to tell everyone I was the rock of the family. It sounded nice, but really it was just another way of saying I was the safety net they leaned on every time something went wrong. When my younger brother, who's 24 now, didn't have health insurance, it was me who paid for his medical bills. He'd text me about prescriptions or doctor visits, and I'd transfer money without thinking twice. I told myself it was just temporary, just until he got steady work, but that temporary stretched into years. Holidays weren't much different. Most families share the cost of big gatherings, but mine always ended with me footing the entire grocery bill. Sometimes it even included the cost of travel, since no one else seemed able to afford it. They praised me at the table, telling relatives how generous I was, but no one ever offered to split the cost the next time. It was simply assumed I would do it again. That assumption grew with everything. My dad, who was supposed to be semi-retired, constantly leaned on me for temporary loans. Each one came with promises that he'd pay me back once things stabilized, but not a single cent ever made its way back to me. At some point, even the word loan became meaningless because we both knew it was never coming back. My sister, who's 27, loved to brag about how she and her fiancé were saving for a down payment on a house. She'd smile while talking about her growing savings account. But the reason she could save so comfortably was because I was covering all the family emergencies she never had to pitch in for. I noticed it, but no one else seemed to. Instead, they compared us, painting her as the smart one planning for her future, while I was the single one who could afford to help everyone else. Even my car wasn't safe. My brother would take it without asking, shrugging it off with excuses like, "You have two, I don't even have one." My parents acted like that was reasonable. They told me I should be more understanding because I had more than he did. Every time I even hinted at being stressed about money, my mom would shut it down. She'd say things like, "You're single, you don't have kids, you can afford it." There was no space to argue with that. If I pushed back, the guilt trip would start. They would remind me that family is everything, that I should be proud to help them, that it was my duty as their daughter. And so I kept giving, telling myself it was just what needed to be done. Relatives joined in too. They loved to call me the responsible one, the one who made the family proud. But their praise felt more like pressure. Every compliment was just another expectation that I'd be there to fix whatever went wrong. I couldn't remember the last time anyone asked me if I needed help. It wasn't even a thought in their minds because I had a good job, and in their eyes that meant I could handle anything. For years, I told myself it was fine. I convinced myself I was strong enough to carry it, that it would even out eventually. But slowly, I realized I wasn't living my own life. My six-figure salary should have set me up for comfort. But when I looked at my bank account, years of paying thousands each month for rent, groceries, and medical bills left almost nothing behind. Every month, my paycheck disappeared into rent payments, groceries, medical bills, and loans that weren't loans at all. The breaking point came when I started looking into buying a place of my own. I wanted stability. I wanted a home that was mine. But when I met with the bank, I found out I couldn't qualify for what I wanted. On paper,